Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of November 16th through the 22nd. During that time, we'll have a waning crescent moon, which is a good time of surrender, rest, and healing. We're coming off that energy of the full moon as it winds down. Just a really kind of a dark time to just rest up a little bit before the new cycle starts, which is the new moon on the 20th. And that energy can last for 2 to 3 days, 20, 21, 22nd. But the new moon energy is a really good time. It's a fresh start for a time for new beginnings, start new projects, make changes, and look forward to changes that you'd like to make in the coming cycle and just get those things started. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Gemini. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: it's time to take action. Okay, let's see what the Gemini Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that my fun weekly reminder is that you learned something new this week. It's a really good time during that dark, quiet time, to take a little quiet time for yourself, read a book, think about a topic that's been something that you thought, I'd like to know a little bit more about that, but you really just haven't taken the time to do it. And just give yourself that time. Give yourself a little bit of space this week to, take a few hours, maybe read a book, watch a lecture, maybe even take notes, but to really learn something new and really absorb it, because then it's yours forever. So that is just my fun weekly reminder for the week, Gemini. All right, let's get right into this reading then. November 16th through the 22nd. It's time to take action. Let's see on what. Your first card here, your present energy, is the Lover's card. So maybe it's time to take some action on the romantic front here with your current partner. Let's do it this way. Tarot is a template. So some of you will be single and it's time to maybe get to work on changing that if that's something you want to change. So get yourself out there to meet new people. Maybe you're in a new relationship, so it's time to maybe just learn something new. Take some action there. Maybe you're in a relationship that's been there for a while, and you need to just interject some things that you want to change. So get with your partner and talk. Here's where we are. Let's do a little meeting, a little update, and what's working for everybody and what's not working, and start to make those changes. It might be time to interject some more passion into your relationship. So really just depending on where you are, but it's time to take some action in your romantic relationships and partnerships there. Your current situation is a little bit of self-indulgence. I really like where this is going, only because my husband's a Gemini. So if we're going to self-indulge and it has to do with our relationship, that sounds like fun for me. So maybe there's a fun date, maybe a long weekend, something in mind with him. I'll have to check in with him and see for this week. But yeah, you're feeling a little self-indulgent. So you're feeling like, okay, life's good. We're going to do something fun. I really like that energy. At the root of your situation is the King of Wands. So you've got this knowledge about this passion, and I really love how this reading is going. I'm gonna have to make sure my husband watched the readings for this week for his sign. King of Wands energy is really about the knowledge of passion and the knowledge of things that really do make you feel passionate and light you a fire. So I really like that. I like where this whole reading is heading. I really do, for you and for me. In your recent past is the Page of Wands. So you might have recently, learned something new about your partner, some new path in the passionate realm. And that's pretty exciting too. Maybe you learn something new about your partner. And even old relationships can have new things come up. So make sure that you are exploring those passions with your partner, and make sure that you understand, not only what's driving you, but as the king, you want to know what's also driving your constituents. And in this case, your romantic partner. So take that kingly energy, even if male or female, and figure out, what is it in the passion? What really makes my partner, feel passion, and how can I light that fire for them also? So, and it could be something that you do that's fun together. There's just so many different ways to kind of have that spark of passion, and go ahead and try to do those things again. Maybe a date night out, something where you just really relax and have fun, laugh, just have a really good time and really, really enjoy each other's company. So, what is on your mind this week is the Queen of Pentacles. So I love this. We have King of Wands here, and on your mind is the Queen of Pentacles, which, if that feminine energy of really having an understanding of finances and the universe and whatever, the material things, and this could represent your romantic partner, be they male or female. It's someone who knows how to bring home the bacon. It's somebody who knows how to keep the house moving and a good flow of energy, so that things are just relaxing in your home. So that's on your mind this week, and maybe it's on your mind to um to really, and again, enjoy that person if you have someone like that in your life, or enjoy that about yourself also, if that's something that you're doing in your relationship, which is awesome. What is just ahead of you this week is the Queen of Cups. Look at all the royalty in this. So I love this. Queen of Cups is where Queen of Pentacles is about understanding the material world. The Queen of Cups is about understanding the emotional world. And that could be, so now we've covered emotion, passion, material things. The only thing we haven't really brought out yet is communication. So I'm looking for those swords to make sure that we're talking about these things, that this isn't just something that's inside your head that you're going to take action, but you would, hopefully communicate all of these things to your partner. But ahead of you is really being, having an understanding again of not only your emotions, but the emotions of your constituents or your partner in this case. In your advice position is the Three of Wands, and this can often be the card of travel, new ventures. Like I said, maybe it's about taking a weekend away. Yeah, I love that idea, and you might want to plan something like that. And looks like you've got the finances. You're feeling a little like you want to indulge a little bit, and that's awesome. Maybe you're like, let's get away and have a romantic getaway, little weekend somewhere, which can be a lot of fun. I love this for myself because my husband's a Gemini. What is beyond your control this week is a little bit of dissatisfaction with the Four of Cups. So I don't know where that's coming in. And maybe it's a little bit of frustration, not even brought on by your partner, by some other outside something. I know, maybe it's just something that's annoying that you have to deal with or manage before you can have all of this fun and do all of these things. But there is some sort of dissatisfaction, or it could be that you're feeling a little bit just dissatisfied in your relationship. And so you're making those moves to turn things into a more positive thing, right? So you're going to take, you just remember you've got these full cups here. I always like to say with most of these cups like this, you're not real thrilled with what the universe is offering you, but don't forget about these cups that are full, that are sitting right in front of you. So that's one of those, be grateful for what you have moments. You don't focus on the minutia of any situation. Look at the bigger picture. All right, what is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Knight of Swords. Okay, so is it your secret desire? And this is messaging and of course intellect, but it's coming in hot and quick. Is this a case where you're trying to avoid speaking? Like I said, I was looking for those swords in this whole reading because I'm not seeing that. Well, here comes our first sword, and it's coming in really fast. So this could be that you either desire to say something, get it off your chest, say it, some expression of some of these feelings that you're having, or you're kind of trying to avoid doing that. So that'll be your big question of the week. And also maybe the big focus for you of what you want to do this week. And maybe communication is something that you need to think a little bit more about, and make sure that you're at least making an attempt to be a good communicator. And your outcome position is a little bit of debate here with the Five of Wands here. I'm looking around, and I don't see this as, sometimes this card can really mean arguments. I don't even see that. I see that it might be that you have fun having debates like this. And I know, again, I'm going to refer to my own marriage. My husband and I love to debate things back, and we will spend hours on a specific topic and debate pros, cons, and we'll both devil's advocate and straw man things. And that's something we actually enjoy doing. It's really fun for us to have those types of debates. So if that's something that you do enjoy doing, that's kind of the outcome. And I do see that as a positive thing. Have those debates, hash the things out with your partner. But wow, look at all the royalty surrounding this entire situation. I do love that. Again, watch out for looking at the minutia of something and you're not thinking of the big picture here when it comes to this Four of Cups. What is hidden from you this week, Gemini, is the 10 of Pentacles. And that's funny because I feel like this was also hidden in the Taurus reading, which is kind of this is wealth, security, long-term wealth and security. And that's maybe not at the forefront of your mind this week, which is just fine, especially if your relationship is at the forefront of your mind. Maybe this week isn't about how much money you can make, but it's about how your emotional life is when it comes to your partner. So again, I love that. I think that's a fun focus. And you can't always be focused on money. Sometimes it is about, what's going on in your life and the people around you. So it is time to take some action. Make sure it is the correct action for you, Gemini, this week. Let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. I'm just going to look around to see if I missed any numerology, but I don't think I did in this reading. Pretty standard. Okay. Final message here, Soul Oracle deck for Gemini. Final message for you is work with devotion. Okay. I'm going to say work at whatever this thing with your partner is with devotion. Of course, you're devoted to each other. That's why you're partnered up. So, pay attention to that and see, what is it? Ask yourself, what is it that your partner needs in the way of passion? Again, emotion, passion, all these cups, the satisfaction, and also kind of the material thing too. Don't forget to, maybe the little gift is very nice to reward your partner with. All right, what do you need to do in the way of self-care, Gemini? Self-care, Gemini, November 16th through the 22nd. And the card that comes up for you is to focus. If you focus on what you don't want, there's a good chance you might get it. Focus on what you do want instead. And that brings me back to this card. And I feel like too, sometimes the universe offers you something and you're not completely thrilled with it. But again, don't forget these cards or these cups, I'm sorry, that are lined up here. Don't forget what you do have, and you know, don't focus on what you don't want, because that's exactly how you get that. Focus on what you do want and let that come to you in abundance. So, Gemini, thank you so much for being here with me this week. I hope you have some fun debate coming up with you. You're feeling some satisfaction in the way, and I feel like you want to use that and spoil your partner a little bit and throw some passion back into things, and at least have a really good understanding of not only passion, but also the material world and emotions, and kind of touch base with all of those things this week. I mean, it's a very balanced reading. That's just a good way to put this. I feel like there's just a lot of balance in your life this week, and it's time, if it's time to take action and kind of rebalance things, then that's a good message for you. So again, thank you so much for being here. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use this week in your life. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below and let me know. If you have questions, of course, you can ask questions. I'd be happy to answer this for you. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, but most importantly, Gemini, it'll help you find me next week. So have a great week and we'll see you there. Bye-bye.